All right. Well, welcome everyone to our discussion. Today I'm here with Coach Sandra. She's a health coach of how many years, Sandra? Now 12, 13 years?
Yes, I guess about 10 years now.
10 years. Okay,
Almost
10
10 years,
years.
yeah.
Giving you a little extra there. And
I'll
we
take it.
work, yeah, we've been working closely together over the
Yeah,
last few years and have become good friends in building our community of health
yeah,
advocates, health seekers, people who are looking for true transformation, permanent, lasting change, people who are looking to create healthy habits, people who are looking to connect with other like-minded individuals. And so we wanted to talk to you a little bit more about community today. It's all about community. And we are finding that community is more important than ever. Sandra, you want to share your thoughts on that topic?
absolutely, Eric. I couldn't agree with you more. It's something I know as a health coach myself that I was looking for a community because I had felt alone really doing this, as an entrepreneur and trying to build a business, coaching business and get your clients and doing it on your own sometimes is like they say, it can be lonely at the top. So it's great to have a community of people that can get around you and that you could be a part of and feel encouraged and motivated knowing that you have other health professionals or other people um, who really value the health and wellness, right, of their life and wanting to help other people. And, we do better together. And so we get to learn from other people. You get to be uplifted. You get to encourage others. And we learn as we go. And it feels nice knowing that you have a community and people who are like-minded, people who want to do better, who want to be the change that we want to see in this world. So it's great. It's great to be around those type of people.
Yeah, no doubt. And today we want to specifically speak to health coaches and holistic professionals that are looking to either start a
Mhm.
community or maybe grow one. And if you've tried to do that before, put a comment below, put a one in the comments because we'd love
Yeah,
to
we'd
hear
love
from
to.
you and hear your experience building a community, whether that was a Facebook group or even an offline community. And so yeah, there are some challenges with it, but we want to give you some tips on how you can do that more effectively as a health coach or holistic professional. Now, just to share a quick little quote here, the people who succeed long term usually aren't doing it alone. And I think you mentioned it. If you want to go fast in doing anything, you go alone. But if you want to go far, then you go
I
together
love
with
that.
others,
Yeah,
right? So we're going to be talking about one of the most overlooked aspects of transformation, and that is community. So, I'm sure as a health coach, Sandra, you could agree that health isn't just a physical thing, right? There's so many
right.
aspects to it, from the mental, the emotional.
Yes,
And
emotional,
as people
spiritual.
transform their bodies, they need things like accountability. They need encouragement. They need hope at times. They need to
Hmm.
find true connection, and shared experiences. So, have you personally found as a health coach that people heal faster when they're in the process with others versus doing it alone?
Absolutely, because they get a sense of, first of all, a sense of belonging with other people who are like-minded, getting encouragement, from those people, and knowing that, hey, I'm not the only one doing this, that or there's others that may be experiencing some of the same things that I am. So there's a sense of connection, right? Like you're bonding on maybe a specific area that you're working on. And knowing that you've got these people around you, for sure, I've seen much better success. I mean, even in our private Facebook group, and I've done quite a few community groups before. I think this might be like my third private group that we have online in Facebook. And when other people are engaging, they get excited, they see other people's stories, they see their experiences, and it gives them hope, at the times that where maybe they are feeling like, I don't know if I can do this. And just knowing that other people are feeling or could be feeling some of the same things that you are encourages that person, says, you know what, if they can do it, I can do it, and let's do it together. So absolutely 100%.
Yeah, I love this thought that people can Google nutrition information, but they can't Google belonging to something greater than they are. And we all need support, no matter who we are. So
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
truly important. And you know, there's real science behind community as well. So, you know, the research shows that when people feel part of a group or part of community, that they adhere better to the program, their stress is lower. They are more motivated, and they usually achieve longer term success. So I know that's one thing health coaches tend to struggle with is helping their clients stick to healthy habits and retaining them sometimes can
Yeah.
be a real challenge, right?
Yeah, and I think the environment is huge, right? That's why it's wonderful to be a part of a community because, and we say it all the time, right? You are like the five people that you hang around with most. And so
Yeah,
if you're part of a community that is wanting better for themselves, you are automatically going to be, feeling that energy and it's like it's infectious, right? It infects you and you're like, wow, this is amazing. That's why it's so important to choose, right? Who you give your energy to, what groups you're going to be a part of. Are they downers? Are they upper? Are they more, happy and excited to make some changes? And I think that's the key to the long-term success, right? And to really see that transformation and make it a lifestyle, right? We talk about like diets, right? Diets have a beginning and an end. And then people are like, okay, now what? We get to incorporate same thing like with community and being with others. When you have that long-term relationship, you're going to see those long-term results.
really powerful what you just said. And it's so true. Our environment shapes our habits. So when healthy behavior becomes normal
Mhm.
within a group, consistency becomes easier. That's what we want to help people to do is become consistent, right? So I wanted to talk about some common mistakes that health coaches can make, they can find themselves making when it comes to community. And mistake number one is only meeting clients during appointments. Because wouldn't you agree, Sandra, that the real transformation happens not just on the appointments, but during the appointments, right? Or I'm sorry,
Yeah.
between the
Yeah.
appointments.
Yeah, in between the appointments, right? Because we get to talk about what maybe those goals are going to be, or how we're going to implement something, or how they're going to be held accountable, and then they got to go out and do the work. When I think about one of my previous clients, she was running a 5K, and it was so exciting and fun to be there to support her because this was something that obviously, we weren't discussing. We had talked about what were some goals or something that they could step out of she could step out of her comfort zone and do something different. And then she went ahead and signed up for a 5K, and
Mm,
to be a part of that and see that, hey, this is something that she committed to and she did it. And it's beautiful to see those little wins along the way, right? I mean, that could be a very big win for someone who's never ever done that before. But all those little bits really help. And that's where the change happens in the doing, because we can talk about it all day long,
that's right.
but you have to be the one to take the responsibility to say, you know what, I'm going to now put this into action. And that's with consistency, right? A little bit each day and working up to it.
That's so true. So you might say that the community is the glue that keeps the their motivation going in between our interactions with them. So that's really important.
Right.
So
Yeah.
mistake number two is trying to be the only source of encouragement. I see health coaches doing this sometimes. They want to be the end all be all. What do you think is the danger in doing that?
Well, it's only one perspective too, right? I mean, obviously, as a coach, we've gone to school, we've studied with some of our own experiences, but being in that healthy community, right, allows the encouragement and to learn from others as well.
Hmm.
And even in our groups and some of the past groups that I've done where we've done coaching one-on-one or like what we call hot seat coaching, and other people get to learn from that short session, right? Because they could be maybe going through the same thing or the question that you wanted to ask, and then it was, it was answered in this hot seat coaching. So I think that's so key and so important to learn from others, right? Like I said, let me make the mistakes so then, others can learn from that, right? And it's a learning opportunity for everybody, no matter where you are, because you can always glean little nuggets from those, coaching times or the what we see in our community.
Really great.
Yeah.
And thanks for sharing your personal experience with it as well. So, mistake number three is waiting for a huge following. Sometimes we may get ourselves into the mindset that we need this massive audience before we can really build a community, right? So what has been your experience with that?
Yeah, when I think about that, such a good point, Eric, because, especially when you're first starting out or you're getting on social media and you see these huge followings that people have, and people think because they have a huge following that they're really, really successful. But in reality, how many people are really engaging, right?
Mm,
They may have whatever, 10,000 followers, but are really 10,000 people engaging on a daily basis where you may have maybe, let's say, 200 to 300 followers, but maybe they're more engaged with you. They're more connected, right? And I think that's where the golden nugget is right?
yeah.
Is how are you connecting with your audience,
Mm,
right? They're engaging with you and liking actually what you're providing or the
mhm.
information or encouragement. It's really about the connection and who's really connected with you, no matter how many following, numbers you have. But
Yeah,
I can
that's
see
so
where it can be
true.
intimidating because people think, oh my God, I've got to get all of these, and I remember I'm like, oh my God, well, who's going to see mine? But if we're providing value and people connect with you, that's where it's at.
Yeah, so that's so true. So 10 committed followers are more powerful than 10,000 disengaged followers.
Right. Yeah, it's just a number,
Yeah.
right? Then it's like it's just a number.
Yeah, that's really great. That's really great. So here's the last one is when health coaches just focus on education. They're so focused on educating, educating, educating. What is it that people really want?
People want connection. People want to feel like they can relate to you, right? Because the information is out there, right? Anybody can, and I think you mentioned earlier, we can Google the information. We know what needs to be done, but it's really finding that relationship, right? How can we relate to that person, which is going to keep them, right? Is going to
That's right.
keep them as the interaction together, and
Yeah.
how that person is feeling, right? How we um, know that somebody kind of understands us, knows where we're coming from, then you feel that trust, right? That trust is built through the relationship.
Yeah. And the old saying, people don't care how much you know until they know that you care. And caring,
Mhm.
genuine, authentic interest in others builds that relationship. So if
Yeah.
someone wants to build a community now, we're going to give you just a few practical suggestions on how you can do that. So the first one is to start small. So maybe that might look like monthly wellness gatherings, or maybe like a walking group, or a
Mhm.
meetup at a healthy restaurant, maybe a smoothie night. There's so many ways that we can get people to come together. And there's different types of communities. Some of them are online, and some of them are offline, and some of them are online and offline. So, nowadays, in recent years where there's been such a focus on building online communities, a lot of people are really craving to get together in person in your own local community. And we know it can be done, Sandra, because we've been doing just that for about the last year. You want to
Yeah.
share a
Yeah.
little bit about the community that we've already built? and are
Yeah,
building.
we have been building a beautiful community then within the last year. Our superfood socials that we've been hosting once a month, where we invite people in the health and wellness space or anyone who is wanting to learn a little bit more about how nutrition can really impact us, as well as finding those who prioritize their nutrition, right? Which is community. And it's been beautiful. I mean, we had our last one, we would do them once a month, but we had our last one a couple of weeks ago. And again, each time we have these, it reminds me and it gets me re-energized knowing that this is what people really need. People love to be in person. You get to feel the energy in the room, right? When the people come in and they're talking to others, and then they find out, oh my God, I'm from that place too. And oh, you did that. Oh, me too. And so it's finding that common ground, right, with other people. And then you just feel it's a sense of, a feeling a part of something, right? And
Longing, yeah.
yeah, belonging. There, that's the word. I'm like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a sense of belonging, especially because we've been so isolated, years behind before, and everything being so much online, which is a beautiful thing because we can connect with people all over the world. But I don't think that there's nothing more powerful than being in front of somebody and feeling the energy and the excitement that people are having in the room and the aha moments because of the different interactions with different people who are there at our events, And so even though some of it can be educational, but I think as we're saying today, and the focus of today is the socializing and being a part of a community, knowing that we are sometimes more alike than we are different. We think that we're so different, and come to find out as we have these conversations with people that there's always some sort of connection, or you find out, oh my God, this I did that too, or that person, I didn't realize. And it makes the people feel good, right? Makes that person feel really good. So I love them. They've been amazing. We've had people who've connected. You never know who that next person could do for you, right? Like some sort of connection, whether it be business, maybe, it's a connection to somebody else or something that you've been looking for. So the possibilities are endless. And I think the key is being
Yeah.
open to it. Come with an open heart, with an open mind, and see who you can connect with.
And we posted a recap video of the event, and the one thing that stood out to me when I went back and looked at it is the amount of people that, their first reaction when they walked into the room and they saw people there. Their reaction was immediate, and we had people hugging and
Yeah. There was
embracing.
a lot of the
Yeah,
hugging.
there
Yeah.
was a lot of hugs going on. And that's just something that's very difficult to duplicate in a virtual environment, So there
Yeah.
is that energy exchange. You can feel the energy as soon as you walk into the room. And even after the event, people left feeling tremendously better than when they got there.
Yeah.
So it was really a beautiful thing to see that. And when you're building a community, whether online or offline, the consistency piece is so
It's really
important.
important. Yeah.
The more people can trust that we will be there for them, whether it's showing up online or showing up offline. Like you said, we've committed to these in-person events once a month, but then we also have our online community where we regularly get in front of our audience. In fact, several times a week, we're either going live, we're posting, we're constantly
Mm.
reminding our audience that we're there for them, we're supporting them, we're inviting them to engage with us, and they really appreciate those consistent efforts.
Yeah, and I had asked some of the people who came to our last social event, what was it that they liked best or most? And the top two, and what we discussed already here today, the top two things was one, I love being around the people and feeling that I can connect with other like-minded individuals. Like I don't always have people around me that think like I do. And so I may not always feel like I'm connected to those people, but I felt that here, which I thought
Mm,
was huge.
that's beautiful.
Another response that I got was it was nice to know that there were other people going through some of the same struggles that I was going through, right? So again,
Yeah.
it makes them feel like, okay, a sense of belonging, like I'm not alone, which already that right there shows you that how important it is to feel a part of something, right? To
Yeah.
feel that belonging and knowing that it's not just you, that there are others going through too, especially when people are going through rough times and hard times. We have our ups and downs, and that alone can encourage somebody to say, you know what? I've got this. I can do
Yeah.
this. Because look, there's others too that have either done it, been through it, or going through it, and this too shall pass.
Mhm.
So that's beautiful. I love that.
And there's so
Thank you
much
for the
demand for
feedback.
community. It's really the number one product as a health coach that we can offer. We had one gentleman that drove over an hour to be there. I
You
mean, and
did. Yeah.
and you know,
That says a lot.
no one had forced him. He wanted to be there and he stayed
Yeah.
even longer than he expected. And so people just want community more than ever. And so people may come for information, but they'll stay for the relationship. So you
That's
don't have
true.
to build a massive community overnight as a health coach. It's something that you can put consistent effort into, knowing that that effort
Mhm.
will pay dividends over the course of time. So, as a health coach,
Absolutely.
focus on changing one life at a time. And healthy communities aren't built through marketing. They're built through genuine care.
Mhm.
Again, one relationship at a time. So if you're
Absolutely.
a health coach or a holistic practitioner and you are looking to build a supportive wellness community, we would love to connect with you. Comment below.
Yes.
Let us know what you're doing to bring people together. And if you'd like more ideas or support in growing your own community, then reach out to us. Coach Sandra
Yeah.
and I were happy to share what's worked for us and to support you along the way. So, anything you'd like to say in closing, Sandra?
No, just thank you so much for being here. I hope that, what we shared today may resonate with somebody. Maybe it will give you the inspiration to go out there and start your own community, whether that's, starting with a best friend and then asking that friend, right? It all starts with one person. And if you're not ready to do that and you want to be a part of our community, we would love to have you because we're always looking for high vibe energy. We want people who just love, life and want to connect with others. And so we welcome you. We would love to have you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Coach Sandra, for joining me in this conversation. Thank you all
Yeah.
for watching. We look forward to coming to you again with another health, wellness, or lifestyle topic. Thanks so much for watching, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Eric.